Captain Jack Miller stood at the viewing deck of the UES Pathfinder, staring into the endless black of space. The stars looked different this far out, near Neptune's orbit. Colder, more distant. He had been exploring the edges of the solar system for 15 years, but the wonder never faded. "Captain, we're picking up something strange." The voice of Lisa, his science officer, came through his earpiece. Jack turned away from the viewport. "Define strange." "An object, massive size, slowing down as it enters the system. It's not following any natural orbit." Jack's heart beat faster. "Natural objects don't slow down on their own." "Exactly," Lisa replied. "Whatever it is, it's using some kind of propulsion." Within minutes, Jack gathered his senior crew in the command center. The main screen showed a dark shape against Neptune's blue. The object was still too far to see clearly, but its size was impossible. "Initial measurements suggest it's 1/4 the size of Earth's moon," Lisa said, her voice steady but her eyes wide. "And it's definitely changing course." Jack nodded. "Send word to Earth. Use the quantum link. Tell them we may have a first contact situation." The next 48 hours changed humanity forever. Earth erupted in a mix of excitement, fear, and disbelief. Religious leaders spoke of Judgment Day. Military forces worldwide went on high alert. The stock market crashed, then soared as companies with space contracts saw their values triple. The UES Pathfinder maintained its position, watching as the object continued its approach toward Neptune. Detailed scans confirmed what everyone feared and hoped. The object was artificial, a ship of impossible size. "We've been broadcasting all standard greeting messages on all frequencies," Communications Officer Ben reported. No response. Jack paced the bridge. "Keep trying. Add mathematical sequences. They might not understand our language, but math is universal." The silence continued. For 3 days, the alien ship moved steadily into the solar system, ignoring all attempts at communication. It adjusted its course, now heading toward the inner planets. Earth's response was predictable. Panic spread. Military forces launched their spacecraft, creating a defensive line near Mars' orbit. The World Council held emergency sessions, but couldn't agree on a unified approach. "They want us to give them a show of force," General Williams told Jack during a video conference. "We need to demonstrate that humanity won't be an easy target." Jack disagreed. If they wanted to attack, they could have launched smaller craft by now. "They're watching us, learning about us. Weapons might send the wrong message." The general's face hardened. "Your job is exploration, Miller. Defense is our department." On the 4th day, when the massive ship reached Jupiter's orbit, something changed. A simple sequence of prime numbers came through on all frequencies. Then mathematical formulas. Then crude images forming a basic visual language. Jack worked around the clock with his team, responding to each message, building communication step by step. "They call themselves the Void Walkers," Lisa said, examining the latest transmission. "At least, that's our best translation." "Do they say why they're here?" Jack asked. Lisa pointed to a series of symbols. "They want to meet. Face to face." The World Council argued for hours about how to respond. Some wanted to refuse any direct contact. Others saw opportunity. In the end, practicality won. The alien ship would reach Earth orbit in 3 days, whether invited or not. "We need to control the narrative," President Rodriguez said in the final meeting. "We accept their request for a meeting, but on our terms." Jack watched the proceedings from the Pathfinder, now ordered to return to Earth. He wasn't surprised when his name was mentioned as a potential envoy. Captain Miller has the most experience with deep space. He made first contact. He should lead the diplomatic team, the science director argued. General Williams objected immediately. "This is a military matter. We need someone with security clearance and tactical training." The debate continued until President Rodriguez raised her hand for silence. Captain Miller will lead a mixed team of scientists and military personnel. We need both perspectives, and Miller has proven himself level-headed in crisis situations. 2 days later, Jack stood in Earth's orbit, watching the alien ship approach. Up close, its size defied comprehension. The smooth, dark surface reflected sunlight like black glass. No visible windows or doors broke its perfect curve. "It's beautiful," whispered Anna Reed, the xenobiologist assigned to the contact team. Major Tom Brooks, the military liaison, checked his sidearm for the 3rd time. "Beauty can be deadly." Jack said nothing. He focused on the final preparations. Their shuttle was ready. The team was briefed. History awaited. "Captain," his communications officer called. "Incoming transmission from the alien vessel." The message was simple, now translated through the basic language they'd established. "We will open." Approach the light. As if on cue, a blue glow appeared on the ship's surface, growing into a perfect circle of light. "That's our door," Jack said. He turned to his team of 12, 6 scientists, 4 military, 2 diplomats. "Remember your training. No sudden movements. Follow first contact protocol. We represent all of humanity today." Major Brooks looked unconvinced. "And if they have other plans?" Jack met his gaze. "Then Earth's defenses are ready. But I don't think that's why they're here." "What makes you so sure?" Brooks asked. Jack looked back at the enormous ship. "They traveled across stars to find us. They could have attacked without warning. Instead, they're inviting us aboard. That shows either respect or curiosity. Either way, it's better than hostility." The shuttle engines fired up. Jack took his position at the command seat. "UES diplomat to Earth Control. We are proceeding with contact mission." "Good luck, diplomat," came the reply. "The whole world is watching." Jack took a deep breath as their small shuttle approached the giant ship. The blue light grew larger, revealing an opening in the perfect hull. Whatever waited inside would change humanity's understanding of its place in the universe. As they passed through the opening, the light surrounded them, scanning their vessel with gentle pulses. "This is it," Jack said quietly. "First contact." The shuttle settled onto a smooth floor in a vast chamber. Outside the windows, tall figures moved in the dim light. The Void Walkers had arrived. And Earth would never be the same again. The air inside the alien ship felt different. Not bad, just different. Thinner, with a hint of something like mint. Jack and his team wore their lightweight environmental suits as a precaution, but their sensors showed nothing harmful. "Remember," Jack said to his team as they prepared to exit the shuttle, "we're guests here. Follow my lead." Major Brooks checked his weapon one last time before securing it in its holster. "Guests don't usually come armed, Captain." "Precautions," Jack replied. "Just don't make it obvious." The shuttle door opened with a soft hiss. Jack stepped out first, his boots touching the smooth floor of the alien ship. The chamber was vast, with high ceilings that curved like the inside of an egg. Soft blue light came from everywhere and nowhere. And then they appeared. The Void Walkers moved like water flowing across the floor. They stood nearly 8 feet tall, their bodies slim and graceful. Their skin was almost clear, showing shadowy shapes of organs beneath, pulsing with gentle blue light. "They're beautiful," whispered Dr. Anna Reed, the xenobiologist. Her eyes were wide with wonder. 3 of the aliens approached the human team. The one in front was taller than the others, with more complex patterns of light under its skin. "I am observer," it said in a voice that seemed to come from everywhere at once. The words were in perfect English, though slightly mechanical. "Welcome to our vessel." Jack stepped forward. "I am Captain Jack Miller of Earth. We come in peace and friendship." Observer tilted its head, the lights beneath its skin shifting. "Peace, friendship, these are concepts we understand." It gestured with a long, 6-fingered hand. "Please follow." The humans were led through corridors that seemed to change shape as they walked. The walls pulsed with the same blue light that came from the Void Walkers' bodies. "How are they speaking English?" Brooks whispered to Jack. "They've been watching us," Jack replied quietly. "Studying our broadcasts, our communications. They've had time to learn." They entered a large room with a curved table in the center. On one wall, images of Earth flashed by: oceans, mountains, cities, people. "We have studied your world for many cycles," Observer said, gesturing for them to sit. "It is unique in our travels." "You've visited other worlds?" Dr. Reed asked eagerly. "Many," Observer replied. "None with such diversity of life. None with such rapid change." Jack noticed how the alien avoided direct answers. "What brings you to our system, Observer?" The alien's lights pulsed more rapidly. "Research, exploration. We seek knowledge of all forms of life." Major Brooks leaned forward. "That's a very large ship for simple research." Observer turned to him, its lights dimming slightly. "Our journeys span great distances and time. Our vessel is our home." The conversation continued for hours. The Void Walkers explained their interest in Earth's unique biology and geology. They requested permission to establish small research outposts on Earth to study these features more closely. "What would we get in return?" Jack asked. "Knowledge," Observer replied. "Technology, medical advances, energy sources cleaner than your current methods." It sounded good. Too good. Back on the shuttle, returning to Earth, the team discussed their impressions. "They're hiding something," Brooks said immediately. "Their answers were too perfect, too rehearsed." Dr. Reed was defensive. "They're an advanced species. Of course they'd be prepared for this meeting." "Did you notice how they avoided questions about their homeworld?" Jack asked. "Or why they really came here?" Anna frowned. "You think they're lying?" "Not lying," Jack said carefully. "Just not telling us everything." Over the next few weeks, Earth's governments debated the alien proposal. Some nations were eager to gain new technology. Others feared a trap. Jack was called to numerous meetings. In one private session with President Rodriguez, he shared his concerns. "There was a moment when Observer was showing us their ship," Jack explained. "I noticed some of their technology looked like weapons systems, not research equipment." The president looked troubled. "Do you think they plan to attack?" "No," Jack said thoughtfully. "But I think they're prepared to fight something. I'm just not sure what." Despite concerns, Earth eventually agreed to allow 3 small Void Walker outposts, one in Africa, one in North America, and one in Asia. The aliens promised to share technology in return. Dr. Reed was assigned to work with the Void Walkers at the North American outpost. Major Brooks was tasked with security oversight of all 3 locations. Jack was ordered to maintain diplomatic relations with the mothership, which remained in Earth orbit. During one of his visits, Jack noticed something strange. A Void Walker he hadn't seen before was watching him from a distance. Unlike the others, this one's lights were green instead of blue. Later, as Jack was preparing to leave, this same alien approached him in an empty corridor. "Human," it said softly. "I am Echo. There is more you should know." Jack glanced around to make sure they were alone. "What do you mean?" Echo's lights pulsed rapidly. "Observer does not tell all truth. We not just researchers." "Then why are you here?" Jack asked. "Running," Echo said, its lights dimming. "Hunted." Before Jack could ask more, other Void Walkers appeared. Echo quickly moved away, its lights changing back to normal blue. On his return to Earth, Jack found Dr. Reed waiting for him at the landing pad. "Jack," she said, her face serious, "I found something in their technology. It doesn't match what they told us." "What did you find?" he asked. Anna looked around nervously. "Their equipment isn't just taking samples. It's extracting metals, rare earth elements, water, all in massive quantities." Jack remembered Echo's words. "Running. Hunted. I need to get back on that ship," he said. "There's something they're not telling us. The military is getting suspicious too, Anna added. Brooks has been documenting unusual activities at all 3 outposts. Jack nodded. Tell him to keep watching, but quietly. I think our new friends might be preparing for something. And I don't think we're going to like it. As they spoke, neither noticed the small drone hovering high above them, its camera focused on their faces, transmitting their conversation back to the mothership where Observer watched with its lights pulsing rapidly. 6 months passed since the Voidwalkers established their outposts on Earth. The world had changed in ways both big and small. New hospitals used alien medical technology to cure diseases that once killed millions. Farms grew more food with less water. Cities ran on clean energy from small power cells that the Voidwalkers provided. But Jack Miller couldn't shake his doubts. He sat in a small office of the Global Contact Center, reviewing reports from all 3 alien outposts. Dr. Anna Reed's latest findings were troubling. Water extraction has increased by 300% in the last month, he read aloud. Rare earth mining operations have expanded beyond agreed boundaries. The door opened, and Major Brooks walked in, looking tired. It's not just resources, he said without greeting. They're building something at each outpost. Jack looked up. Building what? That's the problem. They won't let us see. Areas are being closed off, marked as sensitive research zones. When I pushed for access, Observer said it would violate their technological privacy. Jack rubbed his eyes. Anything from our friend Echo? Nothing, Brooks replied. Either Echo got scared or Observer found out about our meeting. Jack finished. Anna entered the room, carrying her tablet. Her face was pale. You need to see this, she said, placing the tablet on the desk. The screen showed satellite images of the 3 Voidwalker outposts. Around each one, a faint circular pattern was visible in the ground. What am I looking at? Jack asked. Energy readings, Anna explained. Whatever they're building, it's generating massive power. And the pattern. She swiped to a new image. It matches weapon systems I glimpsed on their mothership. The 3 looked at each other in silence. We need to get back on that ship, Jack said finally. Find Echo. Get answers. Brooks nodded. I can arrange a diplomatic visit. But if they're building weapons, we need proof before we make accusations, Jack replied. The world governments won't risk losing alien technology without solid evidence. 2 days later, Jack docked at the mothership again. This time, his diplomatic team was carefully chosen. Anna to examine any technology they saw, and 2 security officers disguised as cultural attaches. Observer greeted them with the same calm manner as always, its body glowing with soft blue light. Captain Miller, we are pleased by your return. There is much progress to discuss. The tour followed the usual pattern: common areas, research labs, cultural exchanges. But Jack had a plan. During a presentation of Voidwalker art, he slipped away, using a small device Anna had created to mask his life signs from the ship's sensors. He moved quickly through dim corridors, searching for the restricted areas he had noted on previous visits. His goal: find echo or evidence of what the Voidwalkers were hiding. After nearly being discovered twice, Jack found an unusual door, darker than the others, with strange symbols glowing on its surface. He placed Anna's device against the door. It hummed softly, trying different energy patterns until the door slid open. Inside was a large room with a glowing 3-dimensional map of the solar system. Red dots moved through space beyond Pluto's orbit. Many red dots. You should not be here, human Jack. Jack spun around to find Echo standing behind him. The alien's green inner light pulsed rapidly. What are those? Jack pointed to the red dots. Echo's lights dimmed. The reason we came to Earth. The harvesters. Harvesters. They consume, Echo explained, moving to the map. Planets, moons, asteroids, all become food for their ships and their young. They have followed us across 12 star systems. Jack felt cold fear spread through him. And you led them to Earth. Not intentional. Echo insisted. We tried to hide our trail, but they always find us. Now they come here. Why didn't you tell us? Jack demanded. Observer believed you would refuse help if you knew the danger. Humans would choose to fight alone rather than stand with strangers. Jack stared at the map, at the swarm of red dots moving closer to Earth. Those outposts. They're not research stations, are they? Defense. Echo confirmed. Weapons to fight harvesters. Shield generators to protect your cities. You should have told us the truth, Jack said. Echo's lights pulsed in patterns Jack now recognized as sadness. Observer's decision. I disagreed. A loud alarm suddenly blared through the ship. The door slid open, and armed void walkers rushed in. Observer entered last, its blue light now pulsing angry red. Captain Miller, you disappoint. Back on Earth, Jack faced the World Council, with Observer standing nearby. The void walkers have admitted their deception, Jack reported. They came to Earth seeking refuge and allies against an enemy they call the Harvesters. Angry voices filled the chamber. President Rodriguez raised her hand for silence. Observer, explain yourself. The tall alien stepped forward. We face extinction. The Harvesters have destroyed 12 of our colony worlds. We searched for allies with the potential to fight. So you used us, the Chinese representative accused. Made us a target. We prepared you, Observer countered. Shared technology, built defenses. If we had explained immediately, would you have believed? Or would you have feared us more than the real threat? Anna's voice came through the emergency comm system before anyone could respond. Incoming transmission from deep space monitoring. Multiple objects have entered the solar system at high speed. They're not natural objects. The room fell silent. How many? Jack asked. Hundreds, Anna replied, her voice shaking. Maybe thousands. Observer's light pulsed rapidly. The Harvesters have arrived sooner than expected. On the main screen, tiny dots appeared, moving toward the outer planets. How long do we have? President Rodriguez asked. At their current speed, Observer replied, 3 Earth days until they reach Mars, 5 until they reach Earth. The President stood. Then we have no time to waste on blame. Captain Miller, work with Observer. Prepare our defenses. The rest of you, begin worldwide evacuation protocols for critical populations. As the room emptied, Jack turned to Observer. No more secrets. If we're going to fight together, we need to know everything. Observer's lights changed to a deep purple. Agreed, Captain. The silence before the storm has ended. Outside, the sky darkened as clouds gathered. A storm was coming, both on Earth and from the stars beyond. The world changed overnight. News of the approaching harvesters spread across every nation, every city, every home. For the first time in human history, all countries stood together against a common threat. Jack Miller hadn't slept in 36 hours. He stood in the Global Defense Command Center, surrounded by screens showing the Harvester fleet's progress. They had already destroyed research stations near Pluto and were accelerating toward the inner planets. They move faster than we predicted, Observer said, standing beside Jack. The aliens' inner lights pulsed with worry. How many ships? Jack asked. Over 2,000, replied Anna, who was analyzing the data. Different sizes, but all heavily armed based on energy readings. Major Brooks entered the room, followed by military leaders from 12 countries. The evacuation of coastal cities has begun, he reported. We're moving key populations to underground shelters. Will that help? Asked the Russian general. Observer's lights dimmed. The Harvesters do not care about humans specifically. They want resources, metals, water, biomass. But they will eliminate resistance without hesitation. Then we need to show them we're more trouble than we're worth, Jack said. In the following days, a desperate plan took shape. The Void Walker mothership moved to Mars orbit, joined by Earth's largest military vessels. Together, they prepared the first line of defense. On Earth, The 3 Void Walker outposts activated their true purpose. Giant shield generators rose from the ground, designed to protect major population centers. Jack worked with mixed teams of humans and Void Walkers, trying to combine their technologies and strategies. "Your weapons are less advanced," Echo told him during one planning session. Echo had become an official liaison after Observer admitted the deception. "But your combat thinking is unexpected. Harvesters struggle with unpredictability." "Then we'll give them plenty to struggle with," Jack replied. Dr. Reed made an important discovery while studying harvester data from previous encounters. "Their ships are biological," she explained to the command team. "Part machine, part living organism. They literally eat planets and use the materials to grow more ships." "A weakness?" Brooks asked hopefully. "Maybe," Anna replied. "Living things have limitations that machines don't." The first battle came sooner than expected. A group of Harvester scout ships approached the Mars defense line. They were massive black shapes that looked like giant insects made of metal. The Void Walker mothership fired first, sending pulses of energy that tore through 2 Harvester vessels. Earth ships launched missiles and energy weapons. For a moment, it seemed too easy. Then the remaining Harvester ships changed. Their hulls shifted, grew thicker where the attacks had been strongest. "They're adapting," Observer warned through the communication link. "This is how they defeat all opponents. They learn, they change." The battle turned. 3 Earth ships were destroyed in minutes. The Void Walker mothership took heavy damage. The remaining forces retreated to Earth's orbit. "They'll analyze our weapons now," Echo explained in the emergency meeting afterward. "Next time, they'll be resistant." "Then we need new weapons," Jack said. "Different strategies." He turned to the global leaders on the screens around him. "We can't fight them with just technology. We need to use what makes Earth special." "And what's that?" asked President Rodriguez. "Chaos," Jack replied. "Earth's weather systems are chaotic. Our planet has hurricanes, tornadoes, electrical storms, natural phenomena the Harvesters might not be prepared for." A new plan formed. While the Void Walkers strengthened their shield generators around major cities, human forces prepared a different kind of defense. Jack worked with weather scientists to identify forming storm systems. "We'll lure their ships into the atmosphere during these storms," he explained to the flight teams. "Their ships are huge. They'll be affected by wind shear, lightning strikes, hail." "Our pilots know Earth weather," Brooks added. "We've flown in storms all our lives. The Harvesters haven't." The Void Walkers contributed by modifying Earth's fighter jets with their technology. "Faster, stronger," Echo said as the engineers worked, "but still small and quick." On the 5th day, as the main Harvester fleet approached Earth orbit, Jack met with Observer one last time before taking command of the air defense. "If we fail," Jack said, "what happens to your people?" Observer's lights pulsed slowly. "We have shared all our knowledge with your world's databases. If Earth falls, but some humans escape, you're saying we're your legacy." "Perhaps," Observer replied. "Or perhaps today we write a new history together." The alien placed a hand on Jack's shoulder. "My people were once like yours. Curious, adaptable, sometimes reckless. We lost those qualities over time, becoming too predictable. That is why we fail against the Harvesters. And that's why you chose Earth," Jack realized. "Not just for resources or as a battleground. You chose us because we're unpredictable." Observer's lights brightened. "Humans change, adapt, create in ways we no longer can. Today, that may save us all." Alarms blared throughout the command center. On the main screen, thousands of black ships appeared, blocking the stars. "They're here," Anna said quietly. Jack straightened his uniform. "Echo, you'll coordinate with our pilots from here. Observer, maintain communication with your ship. Dr. Reed, monitor the Harvester biology for any changes or weaknesses." He turned to Brooks. "Major, you're with me. We're leading the first fighter group." As they walked toward the hangar, Brooks spoke quietly. "You know this is probably a suicide mission." Jack nodded. "Probably. But I'd rather go down fighting than hiding." "For Earth," Brooks said. "For all of us," Jack replied. Above them, the sky darkened as the harvester fleet moved into position. On the horizon, storm clouds gathered, both natural and man-made. The final battle for Earth was about to begin. The sky turned black as thousands of harvester ships surrounded Earth. They blocked the sun like an eclipse that wouldn't end. In cities across the world, people looked up in fear as huge shadows passed overhead. Jack Miller tightened the straps of his flight suit and climbed into his fighter jet. The aircraft had been modified with Void Walker technology, faster engines, stronger shields, and new weapons. But it was still a human design, built for Earth's atmosphere. "All squadrons, report in," Jack said into his helmet mic as his jet rose from the underground hangar. "Red Squadron ready," came the first response. "Blue Squadron ready." "Green Squadron ready." More voices followed until all 20 squadrons had checked in. 200 of Earth's best pilots, flying alongside 30 Void Walker ships. "Remember the plan," Jack said as they ascended toward the clouds. "Draw them into the storm systems. Use the weather. Don't try to overpower them. Outsmart them." The first attack came without warning. Beams of energy shot down from the harvester fleet, cutting through buildings in major cities. The Void Walker shields activated just in time, creating blue domes over population centers. The shields held, but they wouldn't last forever. "Now," Jack ordered. His squadron shot upward, breaking through the clouds toward the massive enemy ships. The human jets looked tiny next to the harvesters, like mosquitoes attacking elephants. But they were fast, hard to hit, and had one advantage. They knew exactly where they were leading the enemy. "Target the smaller ships first," Jack ordered. "Make them chase you." The fighters fired their weapons, then quickly turned away. As planned, harvester ships broke formation to pursue them, following the humans down toward the atmosphere. In the command center, Anna Reed and Echo monitored the battle. "It's working," Anna said, watching the screens. "They're following our fighters into the storm system over the Pacific." Echo's lights blinked rapidly. Harvester ships are not designed for atmospheric conditions. They prefer space. On another screen, Observer coordinated with the Void Walker mothership, now positioned behind Earth's moon. "Phase 1 complete. Begin Phase 2. Jack's fighter cut through dark storm clouds, rain hammering his cockpit. Behind him, 3 harvester ships followed, firing energy beams that dissipated in the thick clouds. "Now," Jack ordered. Hidden in the clouds, dozens of Earth's military aircraft activated powerful electromagnetic pulse weapons, technology created by combining human and Void Walker science. Lightning flashed through the storm, both natural and man-made. The harvester ships shuddered as electricity coursed through their half-biological bodies. 2 crashed into the ocean. The third kept coming. All across Earth, similar battles played out in storm systems. Some human pilots were lost, but they took many harvesters with them. "They're adapting," Brooks reported from his fighter. "The new ships are growing some kind of insulation against the EMPs." Jack had expected this. Move to Phase 3. In the command center, Echo suddenly stiffened, lights flashing brightly. "What is it?" Anna asked. "Observer," Echo replied. "The mothership is moving." On the main screen, they watched as the damaged Void Walker mothership changed course, accelerating toward the heart of the harvester fleet. Observer's voice came through the speakers. "The harvesters adapt too quickly. We cannot win through conventional means." "What are you doing?" Anna demanded. "What is necessary?" Observer replied calmly. "Our ship's power core can be overloaded. The resulting explosion will destroy the harvester command vessel." "That's suicide," Anna protested. "It is salvation," Observer corrected. "But first, we transfer our knowledge." Data streams flooded Earth's networks. Void Walker history, technology, star maps, everything they knew about the universe. "Observer, wait," Anna began. "Tell Captain Miller that unpredictability is humanity's greatest strength. Use it well." The transmission cut off. Moments later, a flash of light brighter than the sun appeared in space. The Voidwalker mothership was gone, and with it, the central harvester vessel. "Half their fleet is in disarray," Brooks reported, his voice tight with emotion. "But the rest are regrouping, and they're angry." The remaining harvesters descended toward Earth in a wave, ignoring the storms, taking heavy losses, but pressing forward with overwhelming numbers. In the command center, Echo suddenly straightened, lights changing color. "I know their weakness." "What weakness?" Anna asked desperately. "Sound," Echo said. "Specific frequencies. The harvesters communicate and coordinate through vibrations. Their bodies are sensitive to certain sound patterns." Anna looked at the data Echo shared. "We can use this. The Voidwalker outposts. We can reprogram them to broadcast these frequencies." Jack's fighter was damaged, one wing smoking as he dodged enemy fire. "I'm not sure how much longer we can hold them," he told the command center. "We need 10 minutes. Anna's voice came back. "Just 10 minutes to reprogram the outposts." "You'll get them," Jack promised, pulling his fighter into a steep climb. He led the remaining fighters in a desperate defense, drawing harvester ships away from the 3 Voidwalker outposts, where Anna and Echo worked frantically. "Ready," Anna finally announced. "Activating now." Across the world, the 3 outposts stopped generating shields. Instead, they pulsed with new energy, sending invisible waves of sound into the atmosphere. Nothing seemed to happen at first. Then, one by one, the harvester ships began to shake. Their smooth surfaces rippled like water. Some smaller vessels simply fell from the sky. Larger ones struggled to maintain control. "It's working," Brooks shouted. Jack watched in amazement as the mighty harvester fleet, which had destroyed so many worlds, trembled before sound waves they couldn't fight. "All fighters, attack now," he ordered. "Hit them while they're vulnerable." The combined forces of human and remaining Voidwalker ships launched everything they had at the disoriented harvesters. Ships exploded across the sky like fireworks. 3 hours later, it was over. The few surviving harvester ships fled the solar system, pursued by fast Voidwalker vessels. Earth had won, but at terrible cost. Cities lay in ruins. Millions were dead. The Voidwalker mothership and observer were gone. Jack stood at the window of the command center, looking out at the smoke-filled sky now clearing of enemy ships. "What happens now?" Brooks asked, joining him. Before Jack could answer, Echo approached. "Now we rebuild. Together." "Your people saved us," Jack said. "Observer sacrificed everything." Echo's lights pulsed gently. "Not everything. You carry our knowledge now. And we who remain will help Earth rebuild, stronger than before." Anna joined them, tired but smiling. "The World Councils are already planning reconstruction, and they're talking about a memorial for all those lost, human and Voidwalker alike." Jack nodded. "And after we rebuild?" "The stars," Echo said simply. "The harvesters have many worlds. Someone must free them." Jack looked back at the sky, where the first stars were becoming visible again as the dust settled. "Not just someone," he said. "Us, together." The silence of the storm had been broken. Earth had faced its greatest challenge and survived. Humanity had proven itself not just to the Voidwalkers, but to the galaxy itself. And somewhere out there, other worlds waited for liberation.